Provence is a feast for the senses. It's the sun on your skin, the smell of fresh lavender, the sound of a fountain splashing in a village square, and of course, the colors of the countryside. In Provence, life moves to the rhythm of the land. My goal this trip is to slow down and absorb the essence of Provence. Together, we'll search out the quintessential Provençal experience in picturesque villages, lively markets, and on the country roads. Provence is a large region in southern France. We'll explore one of the most popular areas of Provence, the Bouches-du-Rhône, which includes the Alpilles mountain range. We'll also tour the beautiful villages in the Luberon Mountains. The heart of Provence is the land. Sun-drenched fields, cragged mountain ranges, a sea of flowers. The scenery gets under your skin, into your soul. Growing out of the countryside are the villages. Many are perched high on hilltops. Some throw in a ruined castle for extra romance. In many ways, life in these villages goes on as it has for centuries. My tip for exploring Provence is to find a central base and make short trips to the villages, cities, and countryside. To plan your trip, arm yourself with picture books and a Michelin guide and map. The opportunities are endless. So we'll go north here into the Alps. My girlfriend Leslie has joined me, and we're off for a leisurely day's drive exploring the Alpilles section of Provence, named for the nearby mountains. Our drive takes us into Van Gogh country. The craggy limestone mountains and the landscape of cypress and olive trees infused his work. Nestled at the base of the Alpilles Mountains is the town of Saint-Rémy-de-Provence. Poets, prophets, and artists have all found their way to this dreamy little town. One excellent reason to visit is to walk in the footsteps of Vincent van Gogh. More than any other artist, Van Gogh sought the essence of Provence. Van Gogh committed himself to this asylum in Saint-Rémy after he cut off his ear in a fit of madness in the nearby city of Arles. He spent the year of 1889 here. In between his attacks, Van Gogh worked feverishly, producing 250 drawings and canvases and some of his finest work. There's a Van Gogh walking trail next to the asylum. Displays show a painting and the spot he painted it from. Van Gogh repeatedly painted the Alpilles Mountains. He struggled to master the cypress and olive trees. Strange to think that these very trees might have ended up in one of Vincent's paintings. Olive trees can live for 1,000 years. Greek colonists introduced the trees to Provence in the 6th century BC. They called their oil liquid gold. Just south of Saint-Rémy is the ancient town of Glanum and some of the best preserved Roman ruins in France. The triumphal arch with its sculpted reliefs of slaves and processions commemorates Caesar's victories over the Gauls in what is now France. The mausoleum honors the grandsons of the Roman Emperor Augustus. Both monuments were probably built in the 1st century. Early in the morning or late in the afternoon, without the crowds of tourists, Glanum feels lonely, evocative, and the centuries slip away. We're driving into the heart of the Alpilles, and the hotter it gets, the faster the cicadas sing. We're headed for the town of Igaliere, another former Roman settlement. Just outside of town, the 12th century Saint-Six's Chapel stands on the site of an ancient Roman temple dedicated to the spirit of the local spring. The chapel and cypresses seem straight from a Van Gogh painting. Igaliere rises from the rocky hillsides, a picturesque village capped by the ruins of a castle. On a summer afternoon, about all you can hear are the church bells and a chorus of cicadas. Like many villages in Provence, the main town of Égalière is crowned with the ruins of a castle and keep. The ruins date from the 12th century, a time of relative peace and prosperity. Many of the great castles, churches, and abbeys in Provence were built during this period. Is there any reason we're not living here? I think it's really pretty. Ruins and spectacular views aside, there's another reason to stop in Égalière. The town's elegant restaurant, Chez Bru, earned its Michelin star with simple, traditional Provençal food.
Did you make your choice?
Bonjour, madame. It's a lovely menu. The eggs poached with truffles.
Yes.
Tell us about that, if you don't mind.
So it's a poached egg. It's served on sweet onions, a bed of sweet onions, codfish, salted codfish, and haddock. And the sauce is made from truffles.
And are the truffles local?
Yeah, they come from Carpentras. My husband goes every week, every Friday morning to Carpentras. It starts around 8:30.
Is that a truffle market?
It's a real truffle market.
Oh my goodness.
So you come over there, you open the doors of your car, and it's all truffle. You're smelling it from far. And it's great.
Truffles, or black diamonds as they are known in Provence, are harvested from November to April. Their earthy, almost nutty flavor brings me a step closer to the essence of Provence.
No, man. That's what you gotta taste.
Little bite.
Little bit. Little bite. No, it's not too much. Just a little bite.
Wherever we go, we stumble on ghostly Roman ruins. Spring waters from our little village, Égalière, fed the city of Arles through this aqueduct. Provence derives its name from the Romans who conquered the area and named it Provincia Romana. When their fighting days were over, many Roman soldiers retired to their sunny province. Having your own rental car in Provence makes a big difference. There are buses to some towns, but driving yourself allows you to choose the place and set your own pace. Now, be advised, some hilltop villages don't allow cars, so you have to park at the bottom and hoof it to the top. Before you head out, it's a good idea to brush up on international driving signs and converting miles to kilometers. A kilometer is 6/10 of a mile, so just multiply by 0.6. A speed limit of 80 kilometers translates to about 48 miles per hour. Some road signs are self-explanatory. Others, like do not enter and intersection ahead, you have the right of way, are a bit trickier. Some truly give pause, like this one. Warning, bulls in the street. A car allows you to be flexible. At lunch, we learned about a festival going on in a nearby town, and we took a quick detour to check it out. Summer is a time of celebration in the south of France. Every few weeks, small villages have festivals or parades. This festival in the town of Chateau Renard honors Saint Eloi, the patron saint of metal workers, and by extension, all those who work with horses. Not another tourist in sight, just the wonderful people of Chateau Renard and their horses. One way to let the flavor of Provence seep in is by staying in a small village. But be forewarned, early reservations are a must for the summer season. We're ending our day at a lovely country inn just north of Saint-Remy. Throughout this region of Provence, you'll find converted farmhouses that offer elegant accommodations. Many also boast gourmet restaurants. La Maison sits atop a hill at the end of a dirt road in the middle of nowhere, or at the center of the world, depending on how you look at it. After a quiet country breakfast, we're off for another day of exploration and a complete change of pace.
When I crave people, excitement, and lively cafes and restaurants, I head to the cities of Provence.
The two big cities in central Provence are Arles and Avignon. Arles is the smaller of the two, picturesque, charming, your typical small Provence city with an extraordinary twist. A couple of thousand years ago, Julius Caesar rewarded Arles for helping him defeat Marseille. He lavished funds on the town, creating a city that became the capital of the Roman Empire in Provence, the Rome of the North. This arena, known as Les Arènes, drew crowds of 20,000 Roman subjects to watch gladiators duel it out with wild beasts. Today, the arena still hosts bloody spectacles. Bullfights are the main fare nowadays. Arles hosts both Spanish-style bullfights, where the matador kills the bull, and Provençal-style, where it's not the bull, but the bullfighters who generally get hurt. I watched a bull roundup, but beat it before the main attraction. Away from the clamor of the arena is the peaceful 12th century Romanesque church, Saint Trophime. The portal carvings tell the story of the Last Judgment. The blessed, dressed in flowing robes, are led to heaven. The condemned, stark naked, are strung together by a chain and led to hell. 12th century carvings also adorn the church cloisters. The northwest pillars depict Saint Trophimus, the first bishop of Arles in the 3rd century. It's believed the stone used to build Saint Trophime was cut from Arles' Roman ruins. We round out our visit to Arles in the Place de Forum. We're at the Café de la Nuit, named for Van Gogh's famous painting, The Night Café. I've ordered some of the popular Provence pastis. This potent, licorice-flavored liqueur takes some getting used to.
Oh, Van Gogh liked it. Probably helped him paint.
Some 25 miles north of Arles is Avignon, the largest city in central Provence. The Pope moved from Rome to Avignon in 1309 to escape the political turmoil in Italy. A succession of popes lived lavishly here in the papal palace for nearly 70 years. Inside, the chambers and passages have none of their former grandeur and are largely barren. The bridge made famous in the children's song Sur le Pont d'Avignon is only half a bridge now. The powerful Rhone River destroyed the bridge so many times that the city leaders finally gave up, and in the 17th century, it was left unrepaired. Avignon is known as a city of art and culture in Provence. Its summer arts festival draws a cosmopolitan crowd from all over Europe. Most of the action revolves around the main town square, the Place de la Loge. There are a dizzying number of cafes and restaurants to choose from.
The cities are great, but it's the countryside of Provence that I crave. I want a garden, an old stone farmhouse, a hammock. I want a French gîte, a rental home.
Vacations France, a web-based clearinghouse for French rental homes, arranged for me to look at Madame Vardy's farmhouse for my next trip.
An apartment, the studio has 1 bedroom for a couple, and the apartment has 2 bedrooms.
Gîte, a loose term for everything from apartments to farmhouses, are a tradition with traveling Europeans. Most gîtes come with a kitchen and cooking utensils so you can cook your own meals.
You and your husband remodeled these totally.
Yes, totally.
What kind of feeling, what were you trying to do in these rooms, and how did you do it?
Atmosphere. Just that people forget about their usual life, that they relax, that they enter to another universe, and people appreciate it a lot. It's like a therapy. After 3 days, they say it's like a therapy.
how far ahead should someone reserve?
February.
By February for the summer.
Yes, for the summer.
When gîte hunting on the internet, choose websites that offer lots of pictures and concrete information. It's road tour time again, and Leslie and I have a mission. We're spending a day looking for the perfect village in the hills of the Luberon. Starting at the west end of the region, we'll wind our way east and then south. Mountainous and wooded, the Luberon region is named for its mountain range and known for its string of spectacular villages. It's lavender season in Provence, and I can't get enough of the purple fields. Lavender fields dot the Luberon countryside. Lavender turns purple around the end of June, and by September the fields are all harvested. Lavender oil is used for everything from perfume to a disinfectant. Due to the Roman habit of adding lavender to wash water, the word lavender is believed to come from the Latin term lavare, meaning to wash. Perhaps the most picturesque place to get a lavender fix is the 12th century Abbey of Senonc. The interior of the abbey is simple and austere. The monks could not be distracted by decoration. They rose for first service at 2 a.m. and spent much of the day copying manuscripts and meditating in the lovely cloisters. The abbey still functions as a Cistercian monastery. If you time your visit right, you'll get a demonstration of the abbey's acoustics. My navigator and I plan our route east toward the town of Roussillon. All the walls of Roussillon are red. Legend has it that the young wife of an evil lord fell in love with a troubadour. In a jealous rage, the lord killed the troubadour and served his wife the man's heart. When she discovered what she'd eaten, she threw herself off the cliffs, coloring them red with her blood. In truth, it's the ochre in the hillsides that has painted the town red. For centuries, the townspeople mined this mineral for dye and pottery glaze. With the advent of synthetic dyes, Roussillon switched to tourism for survival. Our route takes us south now, past another Roman engineering marvel. The Pont Julien is a bridge from the 3rd century. It spanned a river on the Domitian Way, an ancient road linking Italy to Spain, and unbelievably, it's still in use today. Our quest for the perfect village in Provence ends successfully at the charming town of Bonnieu. Set high on a hill overlooking the fields and farmland of the Luberon, Bonnieu is the top of the world. The steep town streets are redolent with the smell of baking bread, and a sense of peace prevails. A local antique fair is underway in the town's breezy main square. Above the town is the Bonnieu Cemetery with, I hate to say it, views to die for. This lonely cemetery left me with a profound sense of life. The continuity of the village is so strong here, generation after generation, living, working, and dying together. In this, of all places, I came closest to knowing the essence of Provence. Leslie is heading home, and I'm off to Aix-en-Provence, then south to Cassis and the sea.
Aix-en-Provence is a vibrant university town with broad tree-shaded avenues and hundreds of outdoor restaurants.
The streets are lively and the architecture elegant. Aix is another town founded near a natural spring. The city is alive with fountains splashing in little squares and courtyards. The city's main boulevard, the Cour Mirabeau, is flanked by 17th century mansions, once the residences of rich nobles. Today is Thursday and it's market day in Aix. It's like a fair, a riot of color and taste. The air of the market is a heady mixture of coffee, lavender, and spices. Here you can find an array of traditional Provençal cloth, try on hats, or sample a luscious melon.
C'est très bon, hein? Ça, c'est le Luberon.
It's a tradition as old as the villages of Provence. Once a week, every village, no matter how large or small, has an outdoor market. Try to find out when it is. Most guidebooks will tell you, or ask any local.
The best markets in Provence are the Thursday market in Aix and the Saturday market in Arles. Both towns are large enough to support big markets with fresh foods from all over Provence. The light, color, and vibrancy of Aix inspired a local resident and the father of modern art, Paul Cézanne. While there are few of Cézanne's paintings in Provence, a trip to his turn-of-the-century studio in Aix conjures up the painter's presence. So much so that you feel the artist has just stepped out for lunch. In his later years, Cézanne turned to the art of still life. Of these paintings, he wrote, "People imagine that things like a sugar bowl have no soul, but you have only to know how to treat them. They have to be coaxed, these little creatures, these glasses and fruit." Cézanne had his own quest to capture the essence of Provence. In the summers, he roamed the nearby countryside, painting Mount Saint-Victoire from every angle in every light. Cézanne was fascinated with how we see the world. He used movement and color to simulate our constantly changing vision. I've always wanted to try my hand at painting, and what better place to start than Provence? Let's see, what colors? Olive green, burnt ochre, and Mediterranean blue. Whenever Cézanne wanted a touch of blue, he headed south to the sea. Cassis is only about a 45-minute drive from Aix. As refreshing as a glass of cool wine, the port town of Cassis is welcome relief after a long, hot Provençal day. An idyllic fishing port surrounded by vineyards and cliffs, Cassis lures with three kinds of bait: fabulous seafood, the local wine, and a trip to the Calanques, fjord-like bays surrounded by white cliffs.
One of the local delicacies during the summer are these big, juicy mussels or moules. To accompany, an icy glass of rosé made from the grapes of Cassis and grown on neighboring hillsides. Cheers.
Equally refreshing are the waters of Cassis. The sandy town beach offers surf and sun under the limestone cliffs. Wandering the streets of Cassis, I wonder, have I found the essence of Provence? Is it the sea, the sun, the colors, the light? Maybe I need to take a few more weeks to figure this out. For now, I'm off to explore the real treasures of Cassis, the nearby Calanques. Tour boats run frequently to these dramatic inlets surrounded by limestone cliffs. Adventurous souls can hike there or rent a motorboat or kayak. Some boats stop for a swimming break at one of the three coves. Back in town, it seems everyone's after the essence of Provence. Not bad, not bad. Hey, I think I can do that.
Cézanne, Van Gogh, they all followed the colors and light of Provence and wound up in some of my favorite places. I think the lesson here is, it pays to paint. I'm getting pretty good myself. Well, it's abstract. This represents movement, the explosion of colors in my brain. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really have to get back to work. I'll see you next time.